ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tomb Raider. We are taking on the city of Khamoon today, and as you may have seen in that previous cinematic, we put the two parts of the Scion together and we got a vision, very interesting vision, which has sent us on our motorbike to Egypt, which is where we now find ourselves. So, this isn't quite the city itself yet. We have to get into it first. And the way we do that is very sneakily. They've got this little crack right below here. And it's probably the first time I've done this where you can release and grab in such a short space of time. So if you release the action button and then hit it again, she will grab this below ledge. And that will allow us to shift our shimmy ourselves the entire way across to here. Now, if I remember correctly, which I will just test in a couple of minutes, I don't think that's the only way to get up here. But anyway, we need to hit this switch, because that will open up the door directly below us, which is now open. Now, I can't remember if I'm remembering correctly, if you can go and figure that one out. But I think, yeah, okay, so you don't have to do all that shimmying. You can just jump from there, which is perfectly fine. Now, all that's actually in here is this block. But we need this block out so that we can create a bridge across this this little drop, and we can get that block above it out. Now, I always thought that there would probably be something behind this block. And you would be absolutely correct. But it's not a secret. Not a secret. So with that done now, what we have to do is pull this out and over the bridge we've just made. Because where we're actually trying to get to is onto the top of that pillar so we can climb up properly. Block puzzles, am I right? Just take one more push, but we can't do it from this side. So we'll push it from here. Okay, so from here we climb up and we'll be introduced to a couple of new enemies this level. The first of which we're going to get jumped by pretty imminently. And it does take a bit of a beating, to be fair. I'll take it on with the pistols, just so as you can see how much damage it takes. But this is a Puma, which may not be immediately evident, and it does so much damage. Like, I'm already at half health. So it takes a fair old beating, and there's a couple of points where we'll be fighting them in really close quarters. A couple of times where you can just kind of get out of the way. And to be honest, this is one of those times I could have just hopped up here and kind of taken it out at my own leisure. But I wanted to demonstrate that they are a lot more dangerous than you would initially give them credit for. They're stronger than the lions and wolves that we've fought up to this point. So once you've jumped up there to grab the couple of bits and pieces that are up there, we're going to make our way up to here. And we've got a new kind of enemy here. This is a mummy. An Atlantean mummy, to be precise. And they also take a fair old beating. And when you do kill them, they kind of explode into limbs, which is a bit odd, but You know, I'm not here to criticize. So, we've now got this slightly deformed Sphinx, which we're going to get to in a moment. Firstly, though, I'm going to take a dive into here because we've got some goodies just here to grab. So we'll grab those magnum clips and swim over to here. That, I think it's called an obelisk, but that big pillar in the middle of the water there is going to be very important. We can also kind of look through here, and we can see into the next room and whatnot. And they do that a couple of times in this level where they allow you to kind of look ahead into rooms you're going to be going to. Oh, I should have taken a running jump. Whoops. Let's just do that again. I meant to jump there as well. My jumping is apparently subpar today. I'll have to fix that. Facing? Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. And all that's actually up here is shotgun shells. But it's an easy one to grab, so I always make a point of it. Now, with that out of the way, I'm going to drop down, and you can get a good look at this obelisk. So, we've got a slot on each of the 4 sides. And this is one of those weird examples where that doesn't actually matter, this level. It's a bit of an odd one, similar to Lost Valley. We are going to come back to here. Oh, that's right, I can't make that jump. I have to shimmy across, don't I? We come back to here in the next level in order to actually put stuff into that. We don't even touch it this level, which is an interesting one because you've been wandering around this level for ages trying to find what goes in there. But it's not quite to be. So behind the Sphinx here, which is where we actually do have to go, we get some more shotgun shells. And I think there's usually a save crystal here in the PlayStation version. And we get a key. And that key we're going to use almost immediately. Whoa, that was a bigger fall than I had anticipated. So, we are now going to pull this block out. Whoa, no, grab Lara, please. Lara. There we go. So behind this block is a door. And this is exactly where we use that key we just found, which is actually kind of unusual for it to be so close to the door that you use it in, but hey, I ain't gonna complain. Now, in here we've got another puma to deal with, but this is one of those where you could kind of get caught in very close proximity, but if you just hop up here to where there is a small medipack, you will be able to deal with this a lot better. So it's very tight quarters here to fight on. But once you jump to here, he'll come out and we can just pop away at him. He will run away and around the corner, which is usually where he goes. I don't know if there's a particular reason for that. Sometimes he runs the entire length of that tunnel and it becomes a bit of a problem because you can stand here waiting for ages and he doesn't really come back. But as soon as you drop down, he will start coming back. Come on. Yeah, there we go. And you have more than enough time to take him out as he runs the length of that. And once he's out of the way, we can continue on. So we actually don't need to do anything with this gate, but it is another example of allowing us to see further ahead. So those 2 gold gates there is actually the end of the level, believe it or not. There's a little keyhole to its right. That's where we finished the level. But we have quite a bit of work to do before we get to there. We've got to go this way first. And I think we get jumped here. So just Allow me to pull this out, because there's nowhere we can hide this time. A couple of shots from a shotgun will usually do the trick. And again, this allows you to... This is the same room. Allows you to look in there. This is the same room behind the gates, I think. Or behind the gate we had in that previous room. So, usually here you can see a save crystal up there on the PlayStation version, which is a little bit tantalizing, to be fair. But we will get it. We'll get up there at some point. So here we just need to take out this crocodile before we hop down. There we go. Okay, so dropping down here is where things get a bit fun. So we have a block, or well, that it is a trapdoor that will open. We have... Oh, no, that jump didn't work. We have a cat statue surrounded by more trapdoors, which is also we will open. We have a pool over there, and we have a gate over here. Now, this is very misleading, because we will eventually be up top there. And if we were to safety drop down, which we will survive, it won't hurt us too much, but it will hurt. We will be treated to a bit of a surprise. So when we get to here, this boulder comes down, which can be quite surprising if you've just dropped down. And he just rolls off into the distance with not really any care. And again, we get to look into a room further along that we will get to a little later in this level. But in the meantime, we have one secret to grab first. So we just need to hop along here. Now, you may have gotten a slight glimpse. There are items just over in that kind of darkened corner. And that's where we're aiming to go. Now, these are all slopes, so we can't really walk on them. But if we take a running jump, we can just hop straight over them. And here is our first secret. Right, so from here, we can slide back down, and we can take a dive into the water. So we need to turn back to where we came from, and down this little tunnel. Now, there's a switch here to the left which will open that door, so don't panic too much if you see a closed door. But it is important that we get out of the water as quick as possible, because we are not alone in this water. There is a crocodile swimming about who always takes a bit of time to show himself, weirdly enough. But he is here. There we go. He's going around that way. So let's just take a wee gander around here. Oh, he's going into the middle. There we go. Now, we don't really need to be doing much around that water, to be fair. So it's not too much of a problem if you don't end up killing him. But we do have to make this slightly awkward jump up to a higher ledge, which, you know, you kind of have to just guess. There we go. And then we have some more block puzzles. So there's actually a couple of different ways you can do this. You can pull it and bring it the whole way around this way, which for me seems like a whole lot of work. What I tend to do is just push it along here. And the reason that I go this way is because we will need to move this block again once we get done with where it lets us get to. And if you push it along that way, I'll just run around and show you. If you push it down here to get to that higher ledge, it's a dead end, and we will need to push the block to here in order to get up to that ledge. So I find it to be a lot more hard work to go the other way. Now, through here is the room back to the Sphinx. which we had a quick gander through this earlier. So now we are on the other side of that. There was another... Oh, yeah, that gate right there is the gate that we looked through where the boulder rolled down. So, some nice little foreshadowing in this level to let you know, to let you see into rooms that you will be getting to. And from here, it's just a standing jump up. And we get up into here, and we have to actually turn back on ourselves and get up to here for what we're looking for. So, this switch... Well, it does something that makes a whole lot of noise. And what that actually is it pulls out these gold columns. And that will let us access to the trapdoor in the roof, but we need to open that trapdoor first. So, in order to open that trapdoor, grab, Lara, not climb. We need to push it the whole way around this corner. So we'll need to pull it so that we can get on the other side of it. And then one more push. And from here, we can take a run and jump across to here. Now, pushing this block will give us access to another little passage. And a switch. And what do you think this switch might do? Well, if you guessed open the trapdoor in the roof, you would be absolutely right. I can't remember if... Oh, yes. This lets you see the key. Which is the key that we will use on that keyhole at the exit door. But we need to get to there first. And this is actually where I said the save crystal was, on that balcony above. So we killed the puma there and came around and I stopped and said, there's a tantalizing save crystal up there. So that's how you get up to here. And all that's really up here is just that switch. Now, this block comes into play a lot more. Now we need to push it again. And this will allow us to jump up onto those columns that have been pulled out from the wall. Take a run and jump. And then a simple standing jump to get up to here. And we have another switch. Now, this is where I was talking about earlier. That is right above where the boulder would have come down. And it is quite high. We are very high up right now. Probably high enough that a drop that isn't calculated will kill us. And that switch opens the trapdoors around that. Now, I'm not going to take the drop. What I actually want to do first is to take this couple of ledges and then across to these rocks. Because we are going to find our next secret. There is some sneakily hidden magnum clips just here that we need to grab first before we take the way down. And what we need to do is just take this slide down, which will dump us out here, and we can grab this small medipack. Now, we've got two items that we can see. First one is the magnum clips over there on the blue roof, but there's also, I think, they're Uzi clips on that ledge across there. Now, you could drop from above there down, but you will take damage. It is another option. I prefer to do it this way because you get all of the items you get the small medipack, the magnum clips, these magnum clips straight across, and the Uzi clips, and you kind of cover all bases in one route. Come on, one more step. There we go. Because from here, we get to take a bit of an awkward jump. Straight. So we need to kind of hit the height of this. And... ah, damn. Can be a bit of a difficult jump. And it has released another crocodile into here. Which can be a slight problem, but it's not too bad. So, we knew... in order to get that now, we kind of need to go the whole way back around. Which is unfortunate, but at least we've opened up a lot of what we did a lot of work to do. So it's just kind of getting in here and climbing up. And we should be back to the top there. And this time I'll just take the drop. It will take a lot more damage, but it's okay. It's not too much of a problem. Oh, this is always such a hard ledge to grab. There we go. I never get it first try. Step back. And there we go. And running jump. There we go. Then we get to take a run and jump. And to be fair, we could just do a 180 and jump up there. Now, we're going to take a medipack. And we're going to take a quick save, just in case this goes wrong. So I think as soon as we hang, the secret chime goes off. Yeah. And we can drop. And it does take a decent chunk of health. Actually, I don't think I was on full health, so I don't think it's actually as big as I thought. And then from here, we can just safety drop down to here. So that's number 2. The third one is a lot further into the level now. So what we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to go down here. And the safest way to do so is to take this corner and drop onto this pillar. And then down. Now, I'm going to quickly save here because I want to demonstrate how sneaky this game has become. So we've got 2 paths here. We can go that way, behind the pillar, or we can go this way. And this actually loops around on itself. So we could just drop down here. And as you can see, there's spikes down there. And a lot of people, I assume, would have either thought this might be the right way to go, or they can see the little crack in the wall there that might lead you to think that there might be a secret. Now, the biggest sneak thing here is as soon as we try to drop onto this next block, they will change. They will switch to a slope. And we have to react really fast. Because it will kill us if you don't react fast enough. And honestly, that is such a sneaky little trap. For nothing. There's literally nothing here. It's just there just to kill you. And it's just so sly. But I just wanted to show what it was in case people are wondering, oh, what's down there? I've shown you, you now know. Don't do it. It's not worth it. This is the way we actually have to go. And here we will get some more magnum clips. And we need to drop down here. Now, there is a switch here. That will open that trapdoor back in the main room. Now, we've got a couple of pumas down here, which we're going to take out from above, because down there can get extremely dicey. Particularly taking into consideration how much damage those pumas do. When you're trying to take 2 of them, it's a lot more difficult, to say the least. So we're just going to stay up here, and we're going to just take them out from up here. We'll just take a few side steps around just to keep them in view so that we can sometimes they get stuck in a bit of a loop on the other side of that pillar. Which I think this guy is... Oh no, he was starting to do, but it's okay. Now, we do need to drop down. And this is where things can get a little bit dicey. So I'm going to give it a quick save first of all. So we have two doors, one on the right and one on the left. And they will open at different points. So if we go over to this side, this one will open. And we'll have two more pumas to deal with. Which is why I have the shotgun ready. Now, the door on the left also opens. I thought it might have been a platform down here, but I might be wrong. Okay. Maybe it's not, but that door will open in a couple of minutes. So, what we need to do is just hop up here. And again. And I think it actually might be a platform in the middle here that opens it. Yeah, there we go. So now that's open. Uh-oh. Didn't mean to do that. Did not mean to drop. This is going to get a lot more dicey. I didn't want to fight them from here. It's okay. We got away with that. I wanted to take them from up above. And actually, before we go, also behind that door is a small medikit. So, the one thing to be really aware of in that room is to try to take it in that order. So, even though from up there you could make the jump to that middle platform, excuse me, as soon as you hit that middle platform, this door on the left will open. Meaning that there is now 4 pumas. Or, if you took down the 2 that were already in the room, there will be 2 pumas. While you're up there, if you so happen to fall down, this door will open, meaning that if you haven't killed those first 2 pumas, you are now dealing with 6. If you did kill the first 2, you are now dealing with 4. So it's kind of really important that you take this room carefully and 2 at a time, so that you don't end up falling and getting absolutely overwhelmed by pumas. Now, I'm sure it is possible, because if you didn't want those couple of medipacks down there, you don't need to go down there. So there is the possibility that you could just never go down. But it means you pulling off every jump perfectly. So, risk-reward, only you can know how confident you are in your jumping abilities. So, it's down to you, really. I always prefer to play it safe because, as you can see, I did fall. But anyway, where we actually need to go isn't this way. This is where the third secret is. So there are a box of shotgun shells behind the cat statue there. And that is, believe it or not, our third secret. And that is all 3 secrets of this level. Believe it or not, not a whole lot, and they're honestly not that difficult in this level. Oh, missed. So it is quite easy to miss some of the jumps in this level and end up down here on the floor amidst a lot of pumas. So definitely one, to kind of be careful of. So now we're going to follow this. It's a very winding passage. And I'm going to have, I'm going to have my shotgun ready, because we do have to take something on in quite close proximity in a second. And this time it's not actually a puma. It's a mummy. Oh, isn't that a great face? And when they come apart, it does a little bit of damage if you're standing right beside them. Not too much though. Now, we are in a very large room. And it kind of looks a lot like the room we saw the key in, but it's not. Where we need to go is up to there, where that gold door is open. But it is obviously completely inaccessible at present. So we need to go this way and follow this around, and this will take us up a lot higher. There we go. To a very similar looking room. Except this is the one that we saw earlier that had the key. So again, a nice little wraparound of the levels, all kind of interacting. See, that was where the switch was, where the save crystal was. Now, where we need to go now is all the way across to here. Excuse me. And in here, we have a couple of jumps, and there is a switch in that far left corner. Now, there are two ways to get across here. You can do standing jumps the whole way across on this side, which I tend to do because I want the magnum clips at the end. And also, this room below us is where we fought the puma earlier, in those kind of close quarters where there was a small medipack. So again, we're kind of wrapping around at a higher level on ourselves. So once we've gotten those magnum clips, we can just hit the switch. And that makes a whole lot of noise. And if you can guess what that did, well done. Because I would have never. And then, if you really want, this is the other way that you could get to here, but it means you're not getting the... Well, it means you're taking another jump to get the magnum clips. You can do running jumps the whole way across, and you'll be perfectly fine. Even this one you don't need to grab for. So, what that has done is it has opened these doors, dumping all of the sand that was here down. So, what we're going to do is take a wee safety drop and take the slides down. Now, from here, we can now access that door that we couldn't reach earlier. Oh, take a jump over that slope. And here we have the double set of gold doors and the keyhole that we saw from earlier in the level. And all we need to do now is put the key in the keyhole to open the doors. And that is the end of the level. And there you have it. City of Khamoon, 22 pickups, 3 secrets out of 3. The next level is pretty, like, it's going to wrap around on the area we've just been in, which is one of the reasons I really like these two levels, because they're so interchangeable, and it's kind of like the end of Lost Valley, or the starting area of Lost Valley and the ending level of the Tomb of Qualopec, in that you kind of end up in that area again, except this one wraps around a lot more on the previous level, which is really cool. Really cool. And a nice little touch from a game of its age, which probably didn't do that a whole lot. But in anyways, we're going to take on the next level, which is the Obelisk of Khamoon, in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helped, and I will talk to you real soon. Take care.